Hey, writers and news daters. I am so glad to be with you here today. Thank you so much for your questions in the Facebook group. I really appreciate your posting those questions and being engaged and involved and sharing what's going on in your writing life, because that's a really important part of what we do here in Write to Publish. So I wanted to address a couple of the questions that were posted today. There were quite a few questions about poetry and about publishing, and we're going to dive in and take a look at those. There were also some questions about what happens when people get on a call with me. So we're going to look at all of those things today as we think about what it means to write to publish. So that's what we're thinking about here. Are you ready to write to publish? And so what does that mean? Well, here in this group, Write to Publish, the purpose of this group, which I hope that you all read the group rules. If you haven't, go do that right after watching this video. You know, what we're here to do is to have a discussion that meets about what kind of writing meets the industry standards. And by industry, I mean the publishing industry. So as many of you know, I spend, sorry about that, as many of you know, I spend time every week speaking with top industry professionals in New York. So I'm speaking to publishers and editors and agents and best-selling authors every single week so that I really know what the trends are. And so that's what this group is about, is writing to publish. So, you know, we talk about self-publishing sometimes, but the bulk of the people in here, I would say, want to really get their message out into the world. They're looking to sell a lot of books, and that's really their goal. So the purpose of this group is to have a valuable conversation around what that looks like to write to publish. And so that's what we're doing in here every day. So here at the Writing Gym, we've got a philosophy and a system that works, and that's why we emphasize that here, because we see so many people stuck in the frustration of doing Google searches to try to find out how they're gonna publish. You know, they're looking for writing tips, free writing tips online. They feel really frustrated because they're not getting the kind of answers that they're looking for. They join these free writing groups, which often do more harm than good. If you participated in my class a couple of weeks ago called Ditch the Writing Class, you know why so many writing classes do not work and actually do more harm than good. We've seen writers, unfortunately, stop writing because of the kind of feedback that they get in writing groups, kind of in the name of like peer feedback or critique, that kind of thing. We've seen people sign up for a lot of things, places where there are really big promises that don't deliver. We've seen people wasting money, and the way that we've seen them do that is by spending like a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here, like piecemealing their way through their writing life. And they think that they're saving because they're only spending a little at a time, but in the end, it doesn't work out for them. They end up wasting that money. So I'm going to take a tip of, I'm going to take a sip of tea. Say that 5 times fast. And let me know in the chat there, for those of you who are watching live, hello. Let me know what your experience is. You know, does this sound like you? Has any of this happened to you before? So, you know, you don't want to waste your money little by little. You don't want to feel lost and confused and frustrated like so many writers feel, who ultimately end up with an unfinished manuscript, or worse, an unpublished manuscripts. So we've talked to a lot of writers who are in this situation, and that's why we created this group, Write to Publish. And who do I mean when I say we? We are Date with the Muse. We run the writing gym. You'll see me in here. You'll see the personal trainer, Andy, in here, and our intern, Hannah. And we're going to post about writing and hopefully engage you in meaningful conversation about how you can publish. And so because we've seen so many frustrated writers, we've seen people stop writing, we've held people in tears because of bad experiences they've had with other types of writing groups where most things are free or just meaningless, they're not helpful, because we've experienced that. We don't want people to feel that way. We want people to actually be able to publish. And so that's why we do things the way that we do here. And just so that you know, because there were a lot of questions today about poetry, here in this group, Write to Publish, we focus mostly on fiction writers. We also have a nonfiction group, so if you'd like to know about that, just shout out to me in the comments, and I'll let you know how you can hop over there and get some valuable information about publishing nonfiction as well. But here at Write to Publish, we focus mostly on fiction writers. You know, there's some crossover with memoir in fiction and nonfiction, structured like fiction, but it's actually true, so it's nonfiction. So that's important for you to know who our audience is, that we work sometimes with memoirists, but this is primarily for fiction writers. You're welcome to stay, poets. We love you. I'm a published poet. I certainly have a heart for poetry, and prose certainly carries a lot of attributes of poetry that are important. So we love to have you here and contribute as well. You're very welcome to attend our writing salons. We would love to have you there. Some of you asked about the calls that I offer, because I do frequently offer that you can hop on a call with me and talk about what happens during that call. So during the call, we're going to do 3 things. Here they come. We're going to talk about where your writing is. We're going to talk about where you want your writing to be, and we're going to talk about how you can get there. It's that simple. That's the structure of the call. That's the purpose of the call. Where your writing is, where you want it to be, and how you can get there. So what is the value in that? Well, I'm going to show you what the value is in that just based on what other people have said. And these are not, I didn't ask for these responses. These are things that people just posted here in the group. And if you scroll down far enough, you'll find these people. So the first one is Christie. Today I had my Date with the Muse.com. This is a website hosted by Annalisa Parent. That's me, a professional writer and editor who can help you with suggestions on most all aspects of getting your work out there and visible. She will discuss your options and offer suggestions as to what to expect from the world of writing. If you have any questions at all about your work and wish to get some free counseling, I suggest you go to her website and set up a phone call with her. It could change your life, and it's free. Note, my experience with the conversation I had today left me with lots to think about and a direction for my work. I recommend this experience to everyone who would like to publish their work. So that's one person's experience on this call. As I said, that call has 3 main foci: where your writing is, where you want it to be, and how you can get there. That's what we talk about on that call. What else do people say about being on a call? Here's what Tom said. I had 2 phone conversations with Miss Annalisa Parent, and I am struck most by her level of inquiry as qualification and her level of ethics in discussion. I honestly feel that she indeed was most interested in my readiness, or readiness to be ready to publish, as opposed to leading with a sales pitch. After honestly discussing some personal issues that affect my writing capability, we've agreed to subsequent meetings based on my own discovery. So these are 2 people's perspective on what it's like to be on a call with me, where we talk about where your writing is, where you want it to be, and what you can do to get there. So sometimes it does happen on a call that I invite writers to participate in one of our programs if they're the right fit, and that's really important, if they're the right fit. And sometimes I offer them a publishing contract on the call. It all depends on where they are and what's best for them. And that's how I can be sure that I'm acting in my own integrity. And that's one thing that's paramount for me. And you can see that, you know, when you look at what Tom said about me, which is that I'm always acting in integrity. I'm not here to put you in a situation that's not good for you. That doesn't work for me. It certainly doesn't work for you. I'm here to talk about where your writing is, where you want it to be, and how you can get there. So if you're a fiction writer who's serious, and I do mean serious about publishing, that means that you're ready to do something now to finish your manuscript to the industry standards. You want to see your name on a book. You're really serious about making that happen. It's not just kind of, maybe I'll take up knitting or maybe I'll publish a book. No, this is the thing that you want to do next. If that's true for you, then I would love to talk with you about what you need to do to get there. So I've opened up a couple of spaces. I think we've got 3 left at this point for next week to talk with people who are serious about publishing. They want to know where they are, where they want to go, and how they can get there. If you are that person, you're serious about publishing, you want to do it now, you're ready to hop in, you're ready to do the work, then I'll post a link in the comments. You can jump right into my calendar and we can have that conversation about how you can move your writing forward. So those slots are available, first come, first serve. And again, the link will be in the comments section. So thank you very much for your questions that you posted today in the group. I was really happy to see your questions, and as I said, I really appreciate your participation because that's what makes this group what it is, a writing community that's here to discuss quality writing so that you can publish. So thank you. Keep those questions coming. I will keep the Facebook Lives coming. I will continue to answer your questions as you post them. Thank you very much. And I look forward to having a call with you if you're really serious about getting published.